Rusame reader, Kurosong, and today I will be reading to you from Everlasting War by Cake. Now, on to Chapter 11. Thank you for coming, Honduras. You're a wonderful guard, I must say. I appreciate it, Crown Prince, the guard replied. America looked down the street, many people staring at him from the side of the street as the guard trotted down on horseback. They seemed curious. A veiled man and a guard from a country they were previously at war with, now in their city, but they stayed to the side, out of America's way. In front of them, an off-white Alcazar stood grand in the middle of the city. It stood out amidst the colorful buildings of Muscovy. He was sure he'd write this to his father, as it was the first time he'd seen such colorful buildings. Tokugawa focused on wooden architecture and would have red-colored buildings if they were of importance, or would remain the color of the wood, or white. Hayao had a use of white and beige buildings, and would use blues and golds. Prussia and Britannia, on the other hand, used gray and brown tones, as they used stone and wood often, sometimes marble. This all made Muscovy seem like a strange new place, as even buildings outside the cities and small village used these colors. Crown Prince, there's knights ahead. America looked forward to spot these knights, but it wasn't only them. Russia rode behind them, accompanied by his sister, Estonia. He was now worried, forgetting Russia was now Tsar. Hopefully, they didn't make a scene. Привет, America, Russia greeted in a rather friendly tone. He then looked at America's guard, Honduras, and spoke once more. Why have you two traveled here? America understood why he wasn't going to let him talk. They were in public. But America did scream at his own people so he could leave before Honduras accompanied him, as per his father's word. We have an important request made to be handled in private quarters, Honduras replied. Russia nodded and turned his horse, telling them to follow him, and his guards to flank the two. They complied and followed Russia, America actually trotting up next to him to talk to him. I'm terribly sorry about this all of a sudden. You've just recently become Tsar, he whispered, doing his best to keep his composure and face straight ahead. You are always welcome here, Russia replied, taking America by surprise a bit. How urgent is this discussion, however? I do have to talk with my brother. I'd say very urgent, but it should be quick, America replied quietly, turning to face him. Хорошо, поговорим.
Как только вернемся.
That roughly translates to, alright, we'll talk as soon as we get back. The rest of the trip was in silence till they entered the stables on castle grounds, when they were getting America and Honduras's horses situated. Estonia, can you have Afghanistan meet with America's guard and take him to the guard's quarters? On it. Soon enough, America was in a room with only Russia and a table separating them, though Russia did not sit down. America flipped his veil up so he could see Russia clearly, and he could see America. What's the matter? Kaiser German Empire has declared war on us. We're hoping you could help us by declaring a non-aggression pact with us. Of course, but no help troop-wise. Hayao and Tokugawa are already sending us troops, as so we heard, and actually, Father was hoping I could stay here in case we need to request other things. Russia pondered for a minute, walking to where America sat, and leaned his back to over table, almost sitting on it. You are welcome to stay, but you would have to share a room with me. Mor has had too many kids, and Latvia is going to get her own room tomorrow. If that doesn't bother you, then you can stay. Mor roughly translates to mother. Now it was America's turn to ponder. He figured there would have been an open room, but it was his father's he shared with his mother, most likely, so his mother would be staying in her room, leaving Russia to stay in his. But it wouldn't be bad, he thought, as he did seem to get along well with Russia. Would I be sleeping on a Davenport of some sort? Niet, I will be sleeping there. You would get my bed, as you are the guest. Well, I really don't want to kick you off your own bed, America muttered in reply, leaning his head back in the chair. Both males went silent, as they were both conflicted on the issue, but they didn't know how to solve it. America contemplated suggesting they just share the bed 50-50, but he was worried it would be seen as weird. Your Majesty, it's Sardina Kalmar, a butler announced, bursting into the room. America flipped his veil back over and followed Russia out of the room, who quickly followed the butler. They were practically running in the halls, and America quickly asked if he should follow, which responded in a yes. They stopped in front of a door where all but one of Russia's siblings were. America decided this is where he stepped back as Russia made his way to the door. But the Soviet Union stepped out of the room, making his appearance.
Мать мертва. Она умерла в преждевременных родах.
That roughly translates to, Mother is dead. She died in a premature labor. America watched the faces of everyone turn from worry to anguish, but nobody had it worse than Russia, who stepped back to stand next to America. After some talk, Russia placed a hand on America's back and began walking, pushing him along. America walked with him and was brought to what could only be assumed to be Russia's room. Take a seat. You might want to write to your parents. America couldn't help but notice a tone when he mentioned his parents, leading America to believe Kalmar had passed away. Russia, he started, taking his veil off and stepping closer to him. I don't speak Russian. Can you tell me what happened? Russia hesitated, but nodded, sitting on the edge of his bed, America joining him. My mother, Sarina Kalmar Union, was pregnant and wasn't due for another month. But she went into labor this morning, apparently, to none of our knowledges. We now have another sister, but mother passed away. I'm so sorry, America replied immediately, feeling guilty over asking. He wrapped his arms around Russia, pulling him into a hug as to give him as much comfort as the now mourning male comfort would need. Russia let himself loose and held America back, failing to hold in sobs, causing America to tell him it was all right to cry. This let Russia completely let himself go and let it all out, holding America as tight as he could. America decided he would leave this out of his letter and just mention Kalmar's death. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.